Hello, everyone. My name is Carrie, and I want to welcome you to our event this evening. Hopefully you can see this screen. How's that look? I'm not really sure. Does it look like there's a whole bunch of us here, or is it just me talking? Can you tell, Laura?
It looks like there's a bunch of people here.
All right, I need to have it be. Thank you. There I go. Is that better?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So I want to thank everybody for jumping on this evening. Tonight we're having a very special guest. This is the Seacret Agent Team Training, and we have opened it up to our clients, our customers, and people who want to know more about what's going on with health. And health empowerment, I think, is a big thing. We were just discussing this, how it's a personal responsibility, I think, for us to take care of ourselves and strengthen the host. And we have an amazing nutrition line with Life by Seacret. And through the networking and the business that we are in with health and wellness, we have just an amazing individual that is in our midst, in our team, working with us as a professional. And I wanted to bring Laura Belg into the highlight tonight so that we can interview her and ask her a few questions about our company, our product, and what she does. So I want to give you a little brief introduction, and then I'm going to turn it over to Laura to share with you more, because she's got a wealth of information. But she has worked in the holistic health field for many years, probably 2 decades. And she's worked with some, private contractor with some pro athletes, some celebrity clientele, worked closely with some of the top supplementation product formulation companies and laboratories. So she knows, products, and the inside out of what's good, what's not good, from the microscopic level, from the level of our blood. She looks at blood. She's a certified microscopist. Hard for me to say, but I got it out. And boy, we talk about science and fun and empowerment all at the same time, with just an unbelievable way to educate her clients, to really get them empowered to take care of themselves and get results. So I wanted to give Laura the floor for a minute. Thank you so much for giving us your time this evening. I want to turn it over to you. Tell us a little bit more about you, why you're doing what you do, and what you love about what you do. And then let me ask you a few questions, okay?
Great. Thank you so much again for having me, because there's nothing that I love more than discussing nutrition or health. I mean, that's what I do 24 hours a day, right? Mm-hmm. So in any event, for those of you who aren't familiar with what I do, I have a $20,000 dark field microscope. And so what I do, my clients are global, and I do something called a dry blood kit. So, people send back their slides with samples of their blood to me, and I proceed to put it under my microscope and read their blood. And what's so special about my microscope is that I have over 40,000 times the magnification in my microscope than a traditional microscope. So, some of the different avenues that people use to have their blood analyzed, maybe through LabCorp or Quest or some of those type laboratories. And my microscope has 40,000 times the magnification. So what I'm looking for when I analyze someone's blood is I'm looking for deeper root causes. So allopathic medicine tends to deal with symptoms, and they're dealing with numbers and symptoms to try to get someone's health in alignment. And when I look at someone's sample, I'm looking for root core issues and the root causes of why someone's health is, compromised on whatever level. So it's really fascinating. I was kind of joking with Carrie a little bit earlier, but when the cells, aren't healthy, they look, it's very obvious. I mean, that you can really tell, they don't look so pretty. So my job and what I do is I get people's ugly cells to look like really nice cells. So that means that I believe, and my school of thought is working on your health on a cellular level. And my belief system is that if you're not working on your health on a cellular level, you're not really working on your health. Wow. And you're setting yourself up for future issues. Okay. And that's definitely, one thing I love about, the Seacret line of products, and what made me fall in love with it. I can remember, when the company, was first around, and I remember I always joke, Dr. Cohn was in my car. It's my big joke. Okay. But I remember looking at Dr. Cohn, and I'll never forget it. And I said, do you know how many years people like me have been waiting for a product like this. I mean, because we knew that, you know, we could really help people on a level that no other product line could help people, period. I don't care what company. And companies are always trying to recruit me. I learn about products 3 to 5 years before the American public in general, because companies are always trying to recruit me. This is my business. They know that I have a celebrity clientele. They know that I believe in naturopathic, you know, products, and they know that I suggest them to my clients, of course. So companies always want me to work for them. And I just feel so grateful, like every day, that I even know about something like this, you know? So I know that when I'm helping people, like with products like the Hydra Effects and the greens and all the different products that we carry, you're really working on your level on all the root core issues, you know?
Wonderful.
If you're not going to do that, then you're just going to revisit your health problems over and over again and be like a gerbil on a wheel with your health. And that's no good.
No. So alluding to that, then, you know, loving the products and you understanding that this is alkaline nutrition, tell us why pH is so important to our overall health, please.
Well, it's not even so important. It's the most important thing.
Okay.
Now, very honestly, I mean, it's everything. Pardon me. So when you are alkalizing, you know, first off, you know, I want to share with everybody that, you know, do your research on a scientific level. It is scientifically and in every other way impossible for any chronic disease or otherwise to exist in an alkaline environment. So we want to always find ourselves walking in towards alkalinity and away from acidity. Okay. So what makes people acidic? Living life. I mean, you know, and I talk to Carrie about this all the time, but it is the most innocent things that make people acidic. You know, living in a home with mold, walking into a nail salon, eating a slice of pizza, having a slice of cake at a birthday party, having an argument with your spouse. I mean, who hasn't done any of those things?
Right.
You know, so all of those things create an acidic environment. The problem of it is that we go through life and we're constantly accruing acidity in innocent ways. I mean, it's just, you can't help it, you know? And so, you know, you intake more acidity, and you don't do anything to kind of, you know, compensate for that.
Right.
So that's where these products really help us to not only compensate for the acidity that we are accruing on a daily basis, but to also improve our health overall. Because, you know, detox is such a popular word now, you know, detox from this, detox from that emotion, detox from that situation, right? And so everybody talks about detoxing, but it's not good enough to detox. And I want you guys to all know that. As you were having the toxins in your system, those toxins have accrued a lot of damage in your system all along the way. So let's say I have somebody come to me that has an impaired thyroid. That's a real easy example. Okay, well, that thyroid has been toxic for how many years? So it's not just enough to detox the thyroid, but then you have to rebuild and repair all the damage that's been accrued in the system for all the years that you've had it. So that's why, you know, this is great. These products are great for long-term health, because it's not just, you know, get our numbers straight. Your body doesn't understand numbers. Your body understands, am I toxic? Am I not toxic? How many toxins do I have in it? You know, and I think people feel some type of safety in the numbers. Well, you can feel real safe when you're putting the right things in your body, because your body will respond very quickly.
Absolutely. So let me do this. Let me screen share and let's talk about the products a little bit here. Okay.
Okay.
Slideshow from this slide. So can you see that okay?
I certainly can.
Okay. So folks, this is our Life by Seacret Alkaline Nutrition, plant-based, organic, vegan, non-GMO, sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, kosher, super clean, nothing artificial, nothing synthetic. Why do you love this product?
You got about 5 hours.
Me too, right?
Okay, so there are a lot of products that are actually have a lot of these adjectives on their label.
Okay.
Okay. And there are a lot of companies out there, and I can bear witness to this because, I've been in product formulation for years. I have been the vice president for 2 different supplement companies. I was the vice president of a science company. I've got a very long resume.
Right.
Okay. I'm an ambassador for the Hippocrates Institute, which is a fabulous health institute.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of different, there are a lot of products out there that are actually labeled this, but our company has really gone way a step further. They're very responsible with the farms that they get the ingredients from, because there are a lot of products out there. And I always say this because people don't realize this. And before I recommend a product before I ever hand something across my desk, I have been to the farms it was grown on. I have sat down with the CEOs. I have been in with the product formulators. I mean, I have done my research. I just didn't sit in my office and say, well, yeah, that sounds okay. I think I'll start giving it to people. Okay. I really am very responsible with what I hand across my desk to people. And so I knew immediately the farms that this company used to grow everything on. Most people, if they saw the farms of products that they were buying were grown on, they go running very quickly because they realize they're just wasting their money. This company has been super, super responsible with every step of the way. I mean, it's like nothing got taken lightly. So, when we see plant-based, that's very good. When we see organic, that's very good. But, those things aren't enough. They have to be grown in healthy soils. They have to be, fertilized and tilled in certain ways. There's a lot of products out there that have these. These products are top shelf all the way.
Top shelf. Can you highlight what you love about the recovery, the hydrogen producing tablet? This is the one with the big R on it right here. I know that's been a big, product that you promote for a long time. Tell us why you promote that, endorse that, and why you highlight that for specifics.
Well, I visit with the big R every day. Yes. So the recovery has a system with it. It's called Hydro Effects, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically on a scientific level, which I really tried to, explain things because I know that sometimes people don't understand things the same way that I do. So I'll try to explain this the best way I can. But basically, the recovery product is the one that really works on a cellular level. Okay. And what it does is it gets toxins moving out of the cells. So once again, we're intercellular. So it gets toxins to remove very gently from the cells and then turns the toxins into H2O.
Love it.
Okay. So can you imagine how much more gentle that is going through your system than an abrupt detox? Right. First off, there are a whole lot of constituents out there that break the blood-brain barrier or work intercellularly. Okay. And so there aren't a lot of products that do that. I mean, on my left hand, maybe. Okay. Wow. So once again, this is the product that gets things to work on a cellular level. Okay. That's why it's called recovery, because you're going to recover your DNA. So in any event, that's why a lot of people in sports will use a recovery too. And, Dr. Cohn, he's got, a list of celebrity clients that use it and stuff like that. I know I do. I have had throughout the years, but it's more, they have more challenges because they're beating on their body harder, but we all have, the same challenges too. You have got to work on your health on a cellular level. I cannot say it enough times.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And then the benefits of hydrogen, you had mentioned athletes. So can you address that towards lactic acid?
Oh, lactic acid is acidity, correct? Right. So what the recovery product does is it's a magnesium bicarbonate, okay? So what it does is it alkalizes your system. And that's the goal that we want. We want to alkalize. We want to walk away from acidity. So let's say I'm just having a real stressful day at work. It doesn't bother me as much because I know I'm doing something to compensate for it. Let's say I went to a birthday party and had some nachos or a which I don't, but let's say I did, and, you know, a slice of birthday cake, which I will have cake once or twice a year. Who cares? You know, you've got to be doing more good things for yourself than bad things every day.
Yes.
I know I'm covered. I can walk out of that party and pop a couple of Alkaline Boosters. Okay.
Okay.
Pop 2 Alkaline Boosters and you're good. So you have got to be compensating. There has got to be, you know, some compensation for that. Otherwise we have terrible cellular health. You know, so it doesn't matter what your goal is, whether you're suffering from diabetes or heart disease or, you know, stroke, I mean, Crohn's, it doesn't matter what your issue is. These products are going to get you to where you need to be in my school of thought.
Awesome. Awesome. So the athletes like it because it's reducing their lactic acid. And then the people who have more of a chronic situation, they like it because it's something that they can take without side effects.
Oh, there is 0 side effects.
No side effects. And if you would,
none that anyone's ever seen or reported, period.
Awesome. Wonderful to hear. We love to hear that, no side effects, right? Because don't a lot of drugs have awful interactions, a lot of pharmaceuticals?
Well, see, here's the problem with traditional medicine is that you'll take a pill of whatever type and it may stave off some symptoms for a while, but prescription medication lies and gets in the tiny little crevices of your kidneys and liver. And so 100% of the time, no matter what you're taking your prescription medication for, there is going to be a side effect. Some are going to be more noticeable than others, but eventually you're going to wind up in the doctor's office again, getting another blood test. Okay. And then you're going to see that there's not one prescription medication out there that I'm aware of that improves your health or rebuilds your body. There's just nothing.
That's a very good point.
Right. I mean, there's nothing that gives you nutrition. You need nutrition to do everything from bend your fingers to bat your eyelashes. You need nutrition. And we live, unfortunately, in a society, and this used to really upset Dr. Atkins, but we live in a society where everybody's talking about carbohydrates and fat grams and all this kind of stuff. You know, well, it's okay. You know, is it just okay if you get cancer as long as you're skinny? I mean, you've got to, and we joke about that in my business because, you know, that's the ultimate goal, but people don't understand that the excess weight is caused by one or more, or maybe several, you know, health issues within the system. So a side effect of becoming healthier is weight loss and more energy and all of these great things, anti-aging, you know, I mean, I'm so grateful. I mean, I'm so grateful to know about products like these because I know at my age, I'm 51, and I do not have any of the issues that other women have my age. I've got energy for days. I've never taken a prescription medication my entire adult life, you know, and I just, you know, I'm living life. I don't watch TV. I'm living life. I just, you know, having a great time. And I'm not caught up in, you know, doctor's appointments, everything. And trust me, it's not genetic. It's not genetic at all. People like to say, oh, genetically, you're like that. No. Every time I take my greens every day, or I take my recovery, or I take a high quality nutritional supplement, that has nothing to do with genetics. Okay. So, you know.
Yeah. Can you speak to the greens? Why are greens so important?
For every reason. You know, first off, they clean your blood, which is a great thing. You want your blood to be clean, okay? They help you to think. They help give you more energy. You know, greens are another addition and the greatest thing you can do for your cellular health. Greens help, you know, oxygenate your body, and your blood, so that you know, everything operates better, you know. And I don't even think I've ever had a protein shake or greens that taste better than this one. I mean, they're just delicious. Years ago, we used to call it the birthday cake shake.
Yep. Shake tastes like cake. So go ahead and let's talk about protein then, to compare to why this protein, for instance, compared to this, which is all plant-based, but compared to like a whey protein or some of the other ones, a soy protein. Can you kind of break it down for us like you do about the values of this compared to those?
Well, sure. First off, I wouldn't even touch a soy or a whey protein shake with a 10-foot pole. First off, soy, there's over 200 different types of soy. Okay. And probably a lot of you out there don't know all 200 different types. So you probably should just stay away from it. But soy increases your estrogen levels. Okay. And, most of the time, well, there's a lot of different reasons. Okay. But most of the time, uh, that you find soy in a protein shake, it's not, they haven't elected to use a premium quality soy or a healthy type soy.
Right.
So, and either way, it raises your estrogen levels. You don't want that. Estrogens cause cancer. So you don't want that. So what you want to have is you want to have very good, clean sources of protein. And I'm putting a lot of blood under the microscope every week. Okay. And one of the things I try to explain to people is that as a microscopist, what we have found underneath the microscope when we go to test most greens and protein shakes, and I mean 9.9 out of 10. And this is what I mean by standards and quality. When we go to put those underneath the microscope, 9 or more out of 10 times, what we find is we find parasites in the greens and protein.
Wow.
So parasitic infestation is something that, I look for every single time I read someone's blood, because once again, that's something very easy to recruit. If you own animals, you can get parasites.
Sure.
It's not just from travel and all the, different ways they try to, different things people try to tell you it's from. And it's a very real issue. Okay. They feed off your nutrition. You don't want to be accruing more parasites in the system. So, bacteria, yeast, parasites, they all hate green. So you need your greens every day. Every day. So with the shake is a very clean form of protein. And then, Carrie, I know you mentioned whey protein. Whey, everyone needs to know, whey is dairy. So for all of you that have read, and I'm sure most of you have, read that dairy's probably not the best thing to put in your system. There's only 6 reasons you can trace any disease, chronic or otherwise, back to 6 different issues, okay? Bacteria, yeast, mold, fungus, mucus, or lack of nutrition. And that's what every health issue boils down to. Every single one. So when you are engaged,
Can you repeat those? Bacteria, yeast, mold, mucus?
Bacteria, yeast, mold, fungus, mucus, or nutrition.
Dang.
And everything will stem back right to one of those 6 things.
Wow.
So yes. So when you are intaking dairy creates mucus in the system. Okay. One of the reasons why people will visit a raw foods institute, such as Hippocrates or, and the various institutes out there, is because they have accrued too much mucoid plaque in their intestinal tract. Okay. So mucoid plaque, and you can kind of research that. I mean, it's like this big, disgusting piece of glue. Okay. In your intestinal tract, right? Well, the problem with that is that your intestinal tract has something called villi. You've got villi on your lungs, you've got villi in your intestinal tract. So when that villi, which is mandatory to absorb nutrition, okay, when it smashes down from all that mucoid plaque, you're not really able to absorb the nutrition the way that you need to. Right. We lose half of our villi by the time we're 40 and 2/3 of it by the time we're 60. Wow. So it's pretty important, for all those people that think they're extra healthy out there, okay, pretty important to look at some things that maybe you haven't before. And so these products help those things from ever accruing in our system. And if we do have it in our system, it helps get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. So stay away from the whey. Stick with this one. This is
there's no reason at all to have whey. No reason. People drink it because it tastes good. Well, if you want to guide your nutrition, through those kind of thoughts, Snickers bars taste good too. For you. Okay, I mean, really. So there's nothing wrong with the taste of our shake. Whey protein's real cheap, but you know what? You're getting what you pay for. I mean, you know, you're not thinking about the cost of that whey protein shake when you're flat on your back in the hospital. Are you thinking about it then? Probably not. Everything you do is a contributor. Everything.
Everything. So we
Yes.
have one more I want to talk about here, maybe two, but I wanted you to show your pictures of the good blood and talk about the blood, because I know everybody's anxious to see that. Before we finish the screen share though, tell me about our Alkaline Booster and why you believe these are super important for people as well. The Alkaline Booster, which is this bottle with the A on it right here.
Right. So the Alkaline Booster boosts your alkalinity, of course. You know, a lot of people use it to sleep at night. It's real effective for sleep, but it once again boosts your alkalinity. So like, you know, when you're going through your day and you find yourself in some type of situation, whether it's something you ate or something you did, and you know that that was an acidic situation, you can just pop a couple of alkaline boosters and bam.
So it's okay to take throughout the day if you're really having some stressful stuff going on, or
yeah, I mean, if I go out to lunch, which I'm not a big go out and eat person because I make most of my foods from scratch at home.
right.
But if I go out and I eat something that's, you know, even a salad is loaded with nitrates and preservatives. So it doesn't matter what you pick, you're not winning. If you want to eat really good food, then you make it at home is you know, how I feel about it. So, and then you know exactly what's in it. And restaurants don't do it to be evil. They do it to preserve their foods because they lose their butts otherwise. Okay. So if I go out and eat a meal, you know, in a group, or however, then I just pop a couple of alkaline boosters, you know, after I'm done eating, and I'm covered. You know, I love to pop throughout the day a couple of boosters, maybe after a meal or something. And then, you know, the green capsules, man, everybody says they just give you energy, you know, and especially because like during the afternoon, that seems to be a tough time for people to maintain their energy. A lot of people carb crash after lunch, or their blood sugar drops in the afternoon. So just pop 3 of the green capsules and that'll be really helpful. It gives people a lot of energy.
Absolutely. I love that. Now, have you,
the doctors keep them in their lab coats and then pop them.
Yeah. And it's great for like, if you're mobile, if you're a trucker or you're running, you know, from point A to point B all the time, keep them in your purse, keep them in your bag, keep them in your car. Awesome. One more I want you to touch on, because I know how imperative digestion and absorbing our nutrition is. So can you speak to the Digestex, our vegan formula digestive enzyme?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, from the time we're like 15 in our society, we just don't have enough digestive enzymes, you know, and but here's the thing is that when you're taking a product like the recovery, when you are alkalizing and your body is walking towards an alkaline state, you know, you have so much better absorption rate than the average person, okay, not taking anything. So I know I get a lot of people that spend, you know, $3,000 on King water systems and, you know, $2,000 a month at Whole Foods and buy all these different supplements, you know, but it doesn't matter. You have got to be cleaning up the environment in your body, or else all those things that you do, if you have no absorption rate, then it doesn't matter how great anything is, that water, those great foods, the other supplements you may elect to, you know, choose to buy. Nothing absorbs, so you're not getting full benefit. So that's one of the things, you know, with the digestive enzymes, that helps you to absorb your nutrition. You know, if people just worried about their nutrition, they'd be a lot better off. But you've got to be supporting your whole body and cleaning up your whole body. The only way that you're going to do that is on a cellular level. So like I kind of threw out, you know, thyroid as an example before, because that's something pretty common for people, you know, is, you know, having thyroid issue. But if it's like, I can take a pill or a supplement for my thyroid, but if the rest of my body is toxic, how good of a job am I doing at cleaning up my thyroid?
Right.
You know, because it's going to get poisoned.
Gotcha.
So, you know, toxins move around in your body. you're re-exposing yourself to something, whatever the situation is. You have got to be able to be supporting your body on a whole. It's like Van Gogh painting on a dirty canvas. He would never have done that. Right. So you got to clean up the environment in your body, which is, what these products help you to do, and then actually absorb your nutrition. So you're really getting full benefit out of that great water drinking habit, or that, great diet that you're on, whatever kind it is. I, of course, recommend an alkaline one, but, but whatever you're doing, it helps you.
Wonderful.
So,
wonderful. Yeah. So here's what I want to do. I want you to show us some proof. Okay. So show us your blood, the good blood, the bad blood, the ugly blood, all the stuff. And so what's evidence of what you're showing your clients is working, and how you can show us them. I know you've got some amazing things, and maybe what that looks like a little bit. So show some people some fun pictures.
Right. Right. Well, the thing of it is that when I am looking at cells, okay, and I have one chart right here, okay, and I have many charts. There's many different things that I, reference back to. But in any event, if you can all see this is a picture of what good blood looks like. Okay. So what I'm looking for when I put the blood under the microscope is I'm looking for a perfectly round cell that is this nice reddish, pinkish, orangish color with some nice black spicules going through the center. And then I'm looking for a nice white cilia to surround the cell. Okay. 9 out of 10 times I look at someone's blood, they have no cilia. What breaks down the cilia? Lack of nutrition. So if you have no cilia surrounding your cells to protect your cells, you're up for any chronic disease.
Wow.
Your system's positioned to receive anything, because those toxins will get into your cells on a cellular level. Okay. So whatever your personal tendencies are, it's going to go in that direction and exacerbate them. Okay. So 100% of the time, and I've been doing what I do for 17, 18 years now. 100% of the time when I see, there's all different kinds of we call them differentials in the cells. Okay. And the differentials are what are indicative to what's going on in someone's physiology. Okay. So in science, we call them differentials. And it doesn't matter what differential I may see in someone's cell. When someone walks towards an alkaline lifestyle and an alkaline environment, and I reread everybody's blood in 90 days. So the blood doesn't lie. I'm going to be rereading your blood in 90 days, and we're going to compare the old blood to the new blood. Okay. 100% of the time, if someone is alkalizing, their blood is way better.
Nice.
Okay. And I can get a good picture. Now, unfortunately, a lot of times by the time someone comes to see me, they've been sick for 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, 30 years, 40 years. So it takes a little longer to get things under control. But whenever I reread the blood and I see things are better, then we know we're walking in the right direction. We're not going backwards. We're not staying the same. We're moving forward. And that's where you need to be with your health. So like when I see someone, generally, someone that just, needs to do a little cleanup in their body, usually, within the 90 days, they're next to perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
So can you give us an example of what some of those that you see on that chart, that what might look like if somebody is something simple like, well, I shouldn't say simple, but let's say, do you have some slides on there of what someone's blood might look like if their blood sugar's in balance?
Well, I may see that their endocrine system is thrown off. When we can look at this one right underneath good blood, and it says kidney bladder. Okay. And when we look at that, we see that the cell is round, but we see all these little white dots going through the cell. Those toxins, that's a lot of bacteria. Okay. So a lot of the issues that I will address, okay, once somebody's blood is under my microscope, they're never addressed by allopathic medicine. And then people wonder why they just cannot get rid of whatever it is, or whatever issue they have is recurring. Okay. And this is what I do, is I get my clients off of becoming a gerbil on a wheel.
Gotcha.
I yank them off the wheel. We address the real issue. Okay. And then we go from there. So, You know, there's so many things I deal, unfortunately, by the time, you know, people get to me, they've been involved with allopathic medicine for a long time.
Yeah.
And then naturopathics is kind of like a last resort with a lot of people. Unfortunately, I used to see that a lot more earlier in my career than I do now, because I think that a lot more people, you know, go towards a natural approach now than they have in the past.
So you have seen that trend?
People are getting it.
Definitely, right?
Yeah, they're really getting it, right?
On that note, let me ask you, if I hate to interrupt you, but this question came in on the chat box, and we're not trying to be diagnostic on a prescription drug in a condition, but it comes up a lot with blood thinners and greens. So as a scientist, as a microscopist, and somebody who works in this nutritional world, what can you share with us about how we might be able to, I know if it was me, I wouldn't want to be on those blood thinners. I'd much rather do it naturally, but how do you do that?
Don't get on them. Don't get
no,
on them.
I know I won't be, because I take my greens, but what's a way we could help people transition?
Well, you know, that's really tricky, because number one, it depends on their physiology, because nobody's just on a blood thinner.
Okay.
People are on a lot of other medicines too.
Okay.
So the irony with the blood thinners is that, you know, your blood's not coagulating properly, right? So what makes your blood coagulate properly? Greens. And you can't have that vitamin K if you're on a blood thinner, right?
Yeah.
So my advice is to not get on them to begin with. You know, and it's tricky, because people that have been on the blood thinners for a long time, you can't just yank them off. Okay. You have to, once again, clean up the environment in the system, which cleans the blood, because you're working on a cellular level now, and then eventually wean yourself off. And physicians will help wean you off of a blood thinner, you know. It's not like out of the blue, you just get a condition or an issue.
Things build
if
up.
you have a condition or issue, it's been building in your system for years. And with a lot of people, it's decades, you know.
It's true. Would you speak to that too? Because I think a lot of people don't get necessarily symptomatic until it's like, oh my gosh, and it's been decades, and all of a sudden, it didn't happen all of a sudden, but they start to feel it. You know?
Well, even if you Wikipedia symptoms, it'll tell you, you know, symptoms are the body's way of telling you that there's a problem.
Right.
Okay, so there's been a problem before the symptom ever comes.
Yes.
And that problem has manifested into a bigger problem. If you have an issue with your physiology, it's not going to go away because you choose not to think about it. Okay. It's going to consistently build and grow in your system until it is addressed.
Absolutely. Good. So now we have some excellent information from you today. And then let me ask one more question that's popping through now. Will an alkaline diet help high blood pressure and cholesterol?
Oh, absolutely. Because once again, no chronic disease or otherwise can exist in an alkaline environment, right? Absolutely. So, you know, one of the great things, you know, about taking the recovery product is that, you know, once again, you're working on a cellular level, but you will start to detoxify your body. I mean, from the first dose. So that's really cool. But I can't impress upon people enough to take that protein shake, because it's really difficult. Even if you're, you know, real conscious with your diet and everything, it's real difficult to get a range of nutrition. When people start getting a range of nutrition, they start operating a whole lot better. You know, I mean, I know the other products are really important too, but you got to have a range of nutrition every day. And very few people can sit down at each plate of food and say, well, I know this is what this is doing for me. And I know that I'm eating these adzuki beans because they're great for my kidneys. And I know you know, people can't do that. So you take the protein shake. No one expects you guys to be a health professional. Take your protein shake and forget about it, along with your greens. Okay. Ooh. And do it in the morning. And then, you know, you got your range of nutrition for the day. That's so important.
That's a great.
It's not just words. Yeah. You know, that's the thing, is that people throw around words like that all the time. It's not just words. It's a reality, you know?
Mm-hmm. Because it's a complete amino acid profile. Is that why? Because it feeds the body with a whole food?
One of the 100 reasons.
One of the 100?
the minerals, the protein, the vitamins, everything. You need everything. And especially like people out there that are over 40, you got to have enough protein, because then if you don't, then your system starts to atrophy.
True.
So it's super, super important, You
Wow.
don't want an atrophic system. You want a system that, is flourishing.
Yeah, so you have some vitality. Yeah, absolutely. So in our systems that we have 3 different collections of nutrition. There's a Health Made Simple collection, a weight management collection, and then also a Power Up. And I think the Power Up is the 3. It's the recovery, the booster, and the greens caps, and that's probably our strongest alkalizing combination of trios of products. But somebody could add in that shake for 40% off if they wanted that collection. So that's a great value.
And there's your deal on the shake, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You get the shake at half off, almost half off. Like 2 more questions, or 1 more. What about immune deficiency issues and how one can rebuild their immune system with alkalinity?
What about what issues, honey?
Immune deficiency issues.
Well, anytime that you're alkalizing, you're increasing your immunity. Anytime that you're walking towards better health, you're increasing your immunity. Mm-hmm. So it just takes a very short period of time. The greens help with your immunity. The recovery products help with immunity. I mean, everything does, but yeah, it's immunity boosting to be healthier.
Absolutely.
How about all the B vitamins in the shake? That's great for your immunity. I mean, every which way. You're not losing. Any product that you take is going to better your health. That very moment that you take these immediately.
Okay, wonderful. I have 1 more question popping through. You're really stimulating some people tonight. What is the one feature that you would highlight about that shake when speaking to maybe a new person about it?
Oh, wow.
Someone else.
My brain's going bap right now. It's just, it goes back to the thing that I love about it the most is the standard of quality. You're not finding it anywhere else. I get, 100 shake salesmen a year trying to tell me why their shake is so great. And I have to inform them why their shake isn't so great. I never had to do that with this company. Okay. Because that's a very big conversation in itself. People try to tell me all the time, oh, I lost 60 pounds because I took this protein shake. Well, no, you didn't. You stopped drinking soda and eating Big Macs at lunch and replaced it with your protein shake. Okay. So that's why you lost the 60 pounds. Let's get real. Okay. Everybody has different habits and a different lifestyle. Okay.
Right.
And one of the first things I ever discussed with Dr. Cohn, and it does not matter if you get your shake and you're paying, $100, $200 for it in a doctor's office, or if you're going to GNC or Kroger or wherever you folks shop for, protein shakes, doesn't matter where it comes from. If you look at a protein shake, your label on a protein shake is your legal document, a company's legal document, okay? And so if you see on that protein shake where they're listing, the B vitamins and the niacin and the magnesium and zinc and all the other constituents in a protein shake, if those constituents are listed, the only reason by law that those constituents are listed is if they are synthetic.
Wow.
So if I wanted synthetic nutrition and energy from my synthetic nutrition, I just pop on down to 7-Eleven and get a 5-hour energy drink and call it a day. Those are, I think, $5, right? So, so synthetic nutrition, first off, it kills your kidneys. Okay. But the number one thing it is it is stored by the liver. When synthetic nutrition is stored by the liver it doesn't take long. Okay, but it will cause you damage to your health. And I've seen it happen to people very quickly and then up to a period of 1 year. You're not doing yourself a favor. So this is why I say you get what you pay for. You're putting garbage in your system. You cannot be putting synthetic nutrition in your system. When you go to the grocery store and you buy a banana, is there a food label? No, because it's real food.
Yay.
Yes.
I love real food, and that we get to provide that for people at a
That
second
makes just
level.
such a whole big difference.
It does.
Yeah.
It's bioavailable. That's the word, right? You absorb
I mean,
it better.
exactly. I love it when people, tell me, oh, that they're putting something garbage in their body and they're laughing about it. Why would
You
you
got
laugh
one.
at
You
that?
got one
Like, we're
body.
proud. I'm still existing and I'm drinking, this crappy protein shake over here. Great.
Well, it's nice that we put high test fuel in our cars, and we should be putting high test fuel in our own vehicle, shouldn't we, in our own body, because we only get one of these. And,
Right.
and I just want to thank you so much for taking the time today. If you had any more that you wanted to share as a wrap up, maybe a call to action, what would you like to suggest to the people that are watching you this evening or watching this replay on a video?
Well, I mean, I suggest it all. Because like I said, from the first sip, from the first tablet, from the first capsule, whatever you can do, whatever you can, whenever you can do it, do it. Just period. Because, you'll notice once you give the body what it needs, it starts responding very quickly in a positive way.
Absolutely. And then leave us with your website, please, in case we have anybody curious about your services.
Absolutely. My website is laurabelg.com. My name, LauraBelg.com. And the best way to get a hold of me is through texting me. And my 917 number is on my contact page on my website.
And I typed it in the chat box so they could see that, laurabelg.com, and you guys can get a hold of me if you can type that fast enough.
Thank you. Yeah.
And thank you so much for being our guest this evening and letting us understand how we can be empowered ourselves by taking charge of our health and making good decisions and avoiding those things that we don't know about. So thanks for that clarity. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. And Carrie, I did want to say one last thing.
Okay.
Is that in a future meeting, what I would like to do is I would like to get, things set up to where I can actually put some blood samples under the microscope and let people see them.
Oh, that would be so fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, then we've got something to build for the next time. We'll have to put that together. That sounds like a great plan. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording.